Taylor Lewan and Will Compton joins us here on the Doug
What's
Gottlieb
up,
Show.
Very
on
happy
Fox
to be here,
Sports
sir.
Radio.
Thanks for having
Year
us.
10.
Year
we got
10.
Year 10 in.
It got stolen.
Yeah.
Year 10 got stolen.
Okay, so for people, like this is terrestrial radio. You guys kill it on Barstool. You guys kill it with the pod as well, okay? Take people through what got stolen from you and your preparation and how everybody thought, dude, bro's going back. He's going back to the NFL only for it not to happen.
So, year 10 was obviously I was going to play this past NFL season. It was going to be my 10th year in the NFL. A lot of people, because we've had Bussin with the boys now. There you go, moment of silence. We've had we've been at it now for a few years. So after last year was up, I went the last 5 games of the year, and then I start tweeting about I'm going to have year 10 next year. And everybody's like, oh, you're done, you're washed, you can't do it. He's no more.
Right.
There's no way you're able to
haters
do it.
were alive.
The haters were alive. Yeah.
They were very
Fed
much alive.
them, like the diet, I'm tweeting the cookies, all that kind of stuff. Oh, you're not able to play in the league again.
You see this body. He looks fantastic.
Okay,
Fantastic.
No
I can hit a
He's
punch
the
that right now if you
he's
guys
the
want me
after
to.
picture.
Yeah.
He's the after
Yeah.
picture.
Right.
And so Arthur Smith from the Atlanta Falcons hit me up mid-year and was like, hey, are you in shape? And I'm like, that's subjective. It depends on what you mean by that.
Wait. So when Arthur Smith, he texts you personally?
Yes.
And did
Arthur's
you,
a boy.
Did
Arthur's
you,
a boy. He's one
Did
of the
you
boys.
have his number saved in your phone?
Yes.
Previous to the text?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
Arthur Smith was the OC for the Tennessee Titans when it was on the Titans.
No, I know.
Yeah. So
I
that's
just didn't
how-
know if you had it saved in the phone at the
Oh,
time.
yeah,
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
if you don't want to go to
absolutely.
who dis, it's Arthur Smith. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it's one of your boys.
You
You're
save
messing
Arthur
with me.
Smith.
Yeah. And he hit me up and asked what kind of shape I'm in. And I'm like, you know what? Nothing that caffeine and Toradol wouldn't get me through. I can come down and make a workout happen. And so we set up a workout. I go down there and have a workout. He brings me into his office. And he's like, this is early October. In your ideal situation, when would this happen for you? And so I kind of told him, because he knows how he's been on the bus. He's one of the boys.
Yep.
And I was like, well, we're doing this college tailgate tour right now, and if we get past the Bussin Bowl between Michigan and Nebraska on November 12th, that would ideally be the perfect world scenario for your boy. He looks at the computer, see that they have a Thursday night NFL game. He goes, that works out for us too. We will come do that. And I go, he's like, that'll give you enough time to continue getting better shape, because I did well in the workout, but obviously I needed to get in a little bit better
Huffing and
football
puffing
shape.
a touch.
Yeah. And give me enough time to help separate and figure out all this stuff with gambling, because I had a gambling show called Bet the Buzz with Barstool Sports. And so we get down to Atlanta. I wake up at 4 a.m., drive down 4 hours. This is fast forward. We're in mid-November now. And they call, hey, we're going to sign you, practice squad for a week, then we'll see what's going on. I expect you to cover some punts out there. And so I get down there, I sign the physical, like, hey, have you gotten injured since your last workout? No, sign my name, go up to the cap guy to get my contract signed for practice squad. Bags. And he goes, do we have everything situated for the gambling, the Barstool, everything else? Barstool's been in contact with my football agent. We've been in contact with Atlanta. We draw up an amendment that separated me, that did all the stuff we thought was possible for me to play under this contract. Atlanta looked at it. Hey, let's change some of this language around. So we made revisions to the amendment. Then we turn it in. He goes, 15 minutes. We'll get to the league office. They'll sign off on it. We'll get you signed here in about 15, 20 minutes. I go hang out in Coach Dean Pease's office. 8 hours go by. I'm sitting until we get an actual answer from the NFL. They said I was nowhere close. He'd have to do I'd have to jump through all these hoops. This was hearsay over the phone. So our side, the agent side, was like, hey, we need this in writing, because some of it seems a little bit unreasonable. And, they probably didn't think I would jump through all the hurdles and hoops to play, because what I ultimately got to do was I was going to separate. I would terminate my contract with Barstool, my individual deal with Barstool, not Bussin with the boys. Terminate my individual deal with Barstool, delete all the historical content that I have with gambling. They wanted that off the internet for whatever reason. Like everything I've done, whether or not I was playing or not, you need it deleted. And then also you needed to divest and pay back any compensation that you've received with Barstool thus far on your individual deal. That's the one that seemed really unreasonable. However, I talking with Barstool, they were backing me for anything. They're like, hey, full support, wink, wink, nod, nod, we'll get you right after the season. We'll do all this stuff. Do what you got to do to play. And so we
Take
get
it down, put it back.
Yeah,
up.
we get all of that in order. Then it gets even farther. This goes weeks.
It's a league issue. The league is keeping you down.
Correct.
The league is the man.
Correct. Yes.
It's just another case of the man keeping you down.
It's just a classic situation of the suits coming after the little man.
Yeah. Got to take it to the internet a couple times, and that's the thing. I like to keep everybody involved, because at the end of the day, it's like, this is awesome. I get to go and do year 10 and do all this stuff. But also it's like, when you're going through all of those things, it's not like I'm going to stop doing everything I'm doing unless I know I'm going to sign a contract. So they kind of had me in handcuffs for a few weeks, and then by the time we could potentially go to the extreme, there were even more hurdles they wanted me to jump through, which we would have done. But at that point, there was like 3 weeks left, and I almost needed to know that day, and I need 3 games for a credited season. So, and at that point, Atlanta had lost like 3 or 4 in a row, so they were out of playoff contention. Because the whole idea was like the playoff Willie. Arthur wanted me to bring juice to the locker room, and maybe it just vamps the boys a little bit, and we sneak into the playoffs.
We're talking about a grade A locker room guy here in Will Compton. I don't think Atlanta loses those 3 or 4 games in a row if Will Compton's out in the locker room.
That's the argument we put
up.
But that's ultimately what happened. It took a long time. Like he was talking about, suits got involved, stuff's behind closed doors. Like guys are like, okay, we'll go over it tomorrow, and it's like, I gotta know. Like, why can't we start getting on the phone and make all these decisions now? So that's what happened.
Bussin.
Yes, sir.
The first time you guys came up with the concept was when?
The first time we came up with the concept, we were a little bit banged up at a Chinese restaurant in January, right after the 2018 season.
We were spitballing it a little bit.
We were spitballing before.
That's
Nashville, Tennessee.
In Nashville?
Nashville, Tennessee.
What was the restaurant?
Is it Best Walk?
Best Walk. It
Best
probably
Walk
was
Chinese,
Best Walk.
Great Wall Chinese, something like that.
There's it's kind of like torn
buffet?
down. No, not a buffet. It's like you sit in there.
No decoration, all white.
You point to the number. You're trying to the language barrier. It's a fantastic spot.
So you're not asking questions.
So take me through how you guys flushed it out.
So Will had the idea. He's like, listen, I want to do a podcast. Will you do a podcast with me? I sit there, I think about it for 0.5 seconds, and I say, yeah, I'm down to do a podcast.
How long have you guys known each other at that point in time?
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
Now, I will tell you, when Will Compton signed with the Tennessee Titans, there was an article that came out about Will. And in the article, there was a paragraph that said, Will Compton and Taylor Lewan will become best friends. So I read this article, and I'm like, damn, I got a best friend already served up for me. I feel like a prince having a marriage being arranged for me. This is an incredible deal.
Yeah.
So the article was completely correct. Will and I start meeting at breakfast in the mornings. We see each other. We start talking about podcasts, talk about Rogan. We talk about a bunch of Barstool podcasts and things that really brought us together. We get to the end of the season. Season doesn't work out the way we want to. And we sit there at this Chinese restaurant. We say, yeah, we're going to do a podcast together.
I talk him into it because he was about to go into a did you just sign your deal?
I just signed
You
my
were
deal.
about to. No,
No. I just signed my contract.
Okay, he just signed. And the big fear for myself, like guys in the situation the seat I was in, is you're very nervous about what your transition and what the next chapter is going to look like.
Yeah,
so for me, I wanted to jump on it, and I love the fact that like I needed the courage to do it, and it's never better when you get your best friend involved with a situation
right.
like that.
What's great about it is, like, look, dude, you've been obviously everybody knows you are as a player, but I would guess, I'm sure you guys going out to the golf tournament, and when you're around here, you guys are more known for Bussin than you are for your players.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how it's become that big a thing.
It is. It's an incredibly, like, I guess it's in a way humbling. It's like super cool because like at first it's like it goes on in Nashville and people are really feeling it in Nashville. You go to other places, nothing really happens. And this past year, we would do like a spring tour. We went to Nebraska. We went to Michigan. We went to, where else did we go? Oh, Tennessee. We went to Tennessee, and as we're like flying into spots, we're in airports, and people are just screaming the boys. I was at a diner 2 days ago, eating with my family, having a nice breakfast. Kids are sitting there ripping around in their coloring books. Across the diner, some guy's walking out and just screams at the top of his lung, "The boy!" And the whole place like shuts down for a second. Hey, like, is this a deal?
Yeah, who's that guy?
And I'm like kind of embarrassed, but I'm like, hey, that's pretty damn cool.
Oh, it's really cool.
Awesome, man. And it's been an incredible experience. It's one thing to be known for your athletic ability, and it's incredibly awesome to know that people want to tune in to listen to Will and I talk about stuff that doesn't even matter. It's just it's a fun podcast. We knock stuff out.
Look, since the man kept
the
man kept you down from year 10. Okay, there's still the chance that you're 11.
Absolutely,
we
always.
credit. You got to credit your 10.
We got that. We credited your 10.
Okay, but you can tell us who, if you were going to lay some money down, who would it be on?
This weekend?
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're the most well-rounded top to bottom. Like, they have the depth.
The roster's stacked.
I think they win in pretty much every category. The one they don't is like quarterback. And even then, they're very competent at quarterback with Jalen Hurts, with running and passing. I think the Eagles are somebody who can win on the ground or through the air, and they have the trenches. And when you have the trenches, you have control. I think the Kansas City Chiefs win if they win. And I talked about it yesterday. If they win off script like they do, like Mahomes makes that magic, man.
I feel like this is the type of game you miss Tyreek Hill because he could just make a play. Like
the
same way Mahomes can just make a play, Mahomes can just hit him or, like a jet sweep, and he just goes.
Yeah. It goes back to you look at the AFC Championship game, they had so many injuries with their wide receivers. They had an ankle, they had a knee, they had a hip. So you hope those wide receivers, those guys who are injured trying to get ready for this game, they are doing everything they can to play in the biggest game in our sport. And so if they're able to come back and take enough Toradol, take enough caffeine, and have
I was just
themselves
gonna say,
have themselves
Toradol,
rip into
caffeine,
that. Yes,
they're ripping and ready to go.
They're ready to take that. It levels the playing field a little bit. If you just look on paper, which is the better team, the Philadelphia Eagles is the better team.
Yep.
But I think we're getting to a point right now with Patrick Mahomes is you're kind of stupid if you bet against him. He's becoming a young Tom Brady. Like, hey, Patriots, they don't have the squad, they don't have this, but it's like, yeah, but they got Tom, and now it's the same thing with
Mahomes.
They got Mahomes.
All right, I'm getting the rap sign for you guys. You guys are
that quick, huh?
Dude, you could do the whole show, man. I don't care.
I tell you what,
fun.
This has been outstanding.
You
have a cool stage
but we
too.
can talk about the UFC. Shout out the boy Michael Chandler.
Get Michael Chandler out there.
For Mike,
he is a stud.
Dana's joining us in a little bit.
Perfect.
Dana's joining us in a little bit. So anyway, fellas, it's Bussin' with the boys. Of course, you guys know where you can get it. Taylor, Will, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it.